White gold. The secret history of salt that built empires and changed the world. The mineral hiding in plain sight. Look at the salt on your dining table. It appears ordinary, cheap, almost invisible. But thousands of years ago, this simple white mineral was one of the most valuable substances on earth. Salt preserved food before refrigerators existed. It supported armies, created trade routes, financed governments, and helped cities become powerful. Kings taxed it. Merchants became rich from it. Empires fought to control it. And in India, a handful of salt became a powerful symbol of freedom. Salt has influenced where people lived, what they ate, how far they traveled, and even how governments controlled their citizens. It has been called white gold, but its real story is more valuable than gold itself. Welcome to Great Stories where fascinating stories from history help you improve your English naturally. Listen carefully, repeat important sentences aloud, and use the shadowing method to practice your pronunciation, vocabulary, and speaking confidence. Today, we uncover the secret history of salt and discover how a simple mineral shaped the entire world. Why humans cannot live without salt. Salt is not merely something we add to food for flavor. It is mainly made of two chemical elements, sodium and chlorine. Together, they form sodium chloride. Sodium helps the human body control fluids, transmit nerve signals, and support muscle function. This means that salt, in suitable amounts, is essential for life. Early human communities often obtained enough sodium naturally from animal-based foods. But as farming developed and diets became more dependent on grains and vegetables, people needed additional sources of salt. Animals also search for salt naturally. Hunters followed animal trails to salty springs and mineral deposits. Some of these paths later became human roads and trading routes. Wherever people found a dependable salt source, settlements often appeared nearby. Salt did not simply improve food. It influenced where civilization began to grow. The discovery that changed human survival. Before refrigeration, fresh food spoiled quickly. Meat, fish, and vegetables could not be stored safely for long periods. A successful hunt might provide food for several days, but much of it could be lost. Then people discovered one of salt's most important abilities. Salt removes moisture and makes it more difficult for many microorganisms to grow. By salting and drying food, communities could preserve it for much longer. This changed human survival. Families could store food for winter. Fishermen could carry their catch inland. Farmers could protect part of their harvest. Travelers could carry preserved supplies over long distances. Food no longer had to be eaten immediately or close to where it was produced. Salt extended the useful life of food and, in doing so, expanded the world of human movement. Trade became easier. Journeys became longer. Populations grew. Armies could travel farther. Without salt preservation, many great voyages, military campaigns, and expanding cities would have been far more difficult. Salt in the ancient world. People have produced salt for thousands of years. Some communities collected it from natural salt deposits. Others boiled salty spring water in clay containers. Coastal societies developed shallow ponds where sunlight and wind slowly evaporated seawater, leaving salt crystals behind. In ancient China, salt became one of the state's most valuable resources. Chinese rulers understood that everyone needed salt, which made it an ideal product to control and tax. During different periods, government salt monopolies generated revenue that helped pay for armies, public administration, and major construction projects. Salt was not simply a kitchen ingredient. It became a foundation of state power. Ancient Egyptians also understood its importance. They used salt and salty mineral mixtures to preserve food. Natron, a naturally occurring mixture different from ordinary table salt, was used in the mummification process. Salt therefore became connected with preservation, purity, ritual, and the journey after death. Across the ancient world, salt was becoming far more than a mineral. It was becoming a symbol of life and permanence. Rome and the famous Salt Road. Salt played an important role in the rise of Rome. One of ancient Italy's famous routes was the *** Via Salria***, meaning the Salt Road. It connected areas near Rome with salt-producing regions and allowed merchants to transport this essential commodity inland. Roman society used salt to season food, preserve meat and fish, and produce sauces such as garam. Preserved supplies were especially important for feeding large cities and supporting soldiers traveling far from home. There's a popular story that Roman soldiers were paid directly in salt, and that this created the English word salary. The full story is not quite so simple. The word salary does come from the Latin word *salarium*, which was connected in some way with salt. However, historians do not have strong evidence that Roman soldiers normally received blocks or bags of salt as their wages. Even so, the connection between salt and payment reveals how valuable the mineral had become. Salt was associated with work, wealth, loyalty, and survival. Expressions such as "worth one salt" still describe a person who is skilled and deserving of their position. Thousands of years later, salt remains hidden inside the language we speak. White gold across the Sahara. One of history's most extraordinary salt trading networks developed across the Sahara Desert. Communities in West Africa had access to rich gold deposits but often needed salt. Meanwhile, desert regions contained large deposits of rock salt. Camel caravans carried heavy slabs of salt across enormous stretches of desert. The journey was dangerous, expensive, and exhausting, but the rewards could be great. Salt traveled south, while gold traveled north. This exchange helped strengthen powerful West African states and empires, including Ghana and Mali. Cities such as Timbuktu became major centers of trade, scholarship, and culture. It is often said that salt was sometimes traded for an equal weight of gold. The exact value changed according to location and supply, but one fact is clear. In places where salt was scarce, it could become extremely valuable. Gold represented wealth. Salt protected life. A person could survive without gold, but not without salt. Europe's battle for salt. During the Middle Ages, European towns and kingdoms also competed for control of salt. Salt-producing regions became centers of wealth. Roads, ports, and markets developed around them. Some modern place names still preserve this history. The Austrian city of Salzburg, for example, takes its name from words associated with salt. The ancient settlement of Hallstatt became famous for its nearby salt mines. Venice built part of its commercial power by controlling valuable trading networks, including the movement of salt. Venetian leaders negotiated agreements, regulated prices, and used trade to extend their influence. European governments quickly recognized a powerful truth. If everyone needs a product, taxing that product can generate enormous revenue. Salt taxes became common. But because rich and poor people both needed salt, these taxes placed a particularly heavy burden on ordinary families. A mineral that preserved life also became an instrument of political control. The salt tax that angered France. In France, one of the most hated taxes was the *** gabelle***, a tax connected with salt. The system varied between regions. People in some areas paid much more than people living elsewhere. In certain places, Families were required to purchase an official quantity of salt at prices set by the government. This created anger, smuggling, corruption, and inequality. Salt smugglers attempted to move cheaper salt across internal boundaries. Authorities punished those who avoided the tax, but the illegal trade continued because the price differences were so great. By the 18th century, the gabelle had become a symbol of an unfair political system. The French Revolution had many causes, including economic hardship, social inequality, food shortages, and political exclusion. The salt tax was not the only cause, but it became one of the grievances that demonstrated how distant the monarchy seemed from the struggles of ordinary people. Once again, salt had entered the center of history. This time, not as food, but as a symbol of injustice. Salt, exploration, and expanding empires. As ocean travel expanded, salt became even more important. Ships crossing the Atlantic or traveling around Africa needed food that could survive long journeys. Salted meat and fish became basic provisions for sailors. The quality of this food was often poor, but preservation made long voyages possible. European fishing communities salted cod and transported it across great distances. This created international markets connecting the waters of the North Atlantic with Europe, Africa, the Caribbean, and the Americas. Colonial governments also controlled salt production and trade. Taxes and monopolies allowed foreign powers to collect money from local populations. Control over salt meant control over food, business, and daily life. From coastlines to deserts, the same historical pattern appeared repeatedly. First, people discovered salt. Then merchants traded it. Finally, rulers attempted to control it. Gandhi and the handful of salt that challenged an empire. One of the most powerful moments in salt's history occurred in British-controlled India. The British administration maintained laws and taxes that restricted Indians from freely collecting or producing their own salt. This affected almost everyone because salt was a basic necessity. Mahatma Gandhi understood the symbolic power of this injustice. Salt was used by rich and poor people, by villagers and city residents, and by members of every community. Protesting the salt laws could unite millions of people around a simple, understandable issue. On 12 March 1930, Gandhi and a group of followers left Sabarmati Ashram and began walking towards the coastal village of Dandi. The journey took more than 3 weeks and covered approximately 240 miles. As the march continued, crowds gathered along the route and news spread around the world. On 6th April, Gandhi broke the colonial salt law at Dandi by taking salt from the seashore. The action itself appeared small, but its meaning was enormous. People across India began making or collecting salt and peacefully challenging the law. Many protesters were arrested, but the movement continued. The Salt March did not immediately end British rule. However, it transformed the Indian independence movement and demonstrated the power of non-violent civil resistance. A handful of salt had become a declaration. A government may control laws and taxes, but it cannot permanently control a population demanding freedom. Salt and the birth of modern industry. During the Industrial Revolution, salt gained an entirely new importance. It was no longer valuable only for seasoning and preserving food. It became a basic raw material for the chemical industry. Salt could be separated and processed to help produce chlorine and sodium-based chemicals. These materials became essential for manufacturing glass, soap, paper, textiles, cleaning products, and many other goods. Chlorine compounds helped disinfect drinking water, reducing the spread of waterborne disease. Salt-based chemicals contributed to medicines, plastics, construction materials, and modern manufacturing. Today, only part of the world's salt production goes directly into food. Large quantities are used by industry. Salt is also spread on icy roads, used in water treatment systems, and processed into chemicals that appear in countless everyday products. The mineral that once traveled on camel caravans now moves through pipelines, factories, ships, trucks, and global industrial networks. Its appearance has not changed. its uses have multiplied enormously. How salt is produced today. Modern salt comes mainly from three sources. The first is seawater. In hot, dry coastal regions, seawater is directed into shallow evaporation ponds. Sunlight and wind remove the water, and workers collect the crystals left behind. The second source is underground rock salt. Ancient seas once covered areas that are now dry land. When these seas disappeared, they left enormous layers of salt beneath the surface. Miners extract this rock salt using heavy machinery. The third method is solution mining. Water is pumped underground to dissolve salt deposits. The salty water, called brine, is brought to the surface and processed. Modern technology has made salt widely available and relatively inexpensive in many parts of the world. This creates a strange historical contrast. A substance that once financed kingdoms and inspired dangerous journeys can now be purchased for a very small price. Salt did not become less important. It simply became easier to obtain. Salt in language, religion, and culture. Salt's influence reaches far beyond economics. Across many cultures, it represents purity, loyalty, hospitality, and protection. In some traditions, sharing salt creates a bond between host and guest. Religious texts use salt as a symbol of permanence, wisdom, or moral value. Ceremonies around the world have included salt as a sign of blessing or purification. Our language also preserves its cultural importance. A dependable person may be called the salt of the earth. Someone who earns respect is worth their salt. To take something with a grain of salt means not to believe it completely. These expressions survived because salt was never truly ordinary. It touched every class of society, every meal, and almost every part of human life. Salt's hidden cost. Salt has brought great benefits, but its story also contains warnings. Excessive salt consumption can contribute to health problems, particularly for people sensitive to sodium. Modern processed foods can contain more salt than consumers realize, making moderation important. Industrial salt production and mining can also affect landscapes, soil, groundwater, and nearby ecosystems if they are not managed responsibly. Road salt keeps winter roads safer, but large amounts can enter rivers and lakes, damaging freshwater environments and affecting plants and animals. History teaches us that even the most useful resources have consequences. The challenge is not to reject salt. It is to use it wisely. The mineral that built the world. Salt has no glitter. It does not shine like gold or sparkle like a diamond. Yet it helped humanity preserve food, build settlements, cross oceans, maintain armies, create industries, and challenge empires. It connected the gold fields of West Africa with the salt mines of the Sahara. It traveled along Roman roads and through European ports. It filled government treasuries and caused public anger. And on the coast of India, it became a symbol of peaceful resistance and national freedom. Today, salt sits quietly on our tables. We rarely think about the merchants who transported it, the workers who mined it, the governments that taxed it, or the people who protested for the right to collect it. But history often hides inside ordinary objects. Sometimes the smallest things create the greatest changes. Salt shaped our food, our cities, our languages, our economies, and our political movements. It did not merely season civilization. It helped create civilization. Thank you for watching Great Stories where history becomes an exciting way to learn English. If you enjoyed this documentary, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves hidden history. For English practice, listen to the documentary again. Pause after each sentence, repeat it aloud, and try to copy the narrator's pronunciation and rhythm. This shadowing method can improve your listening, vocabulary, and speaking confidence. And remember, the world is filled with extraordinary stories hiding inside ordinary things. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep discovering. See you in the next great story.